Well, turning now to our feature articles, we recently ran a piece titled Understanding the Culture of Quality, which described a white paper released by the American Society for Quality and Forbes. The Culture of Quality, Accelerating Growth and Performance in the Enterprise was the name of that white paper. There are some really good and very practical insights in this report about how managers can embed quality into their organizations, and there were some surprising things too, specifically about perceptions of quality within the various strata of a company, and I think that's one thing we really want to kind of talk about. So, to chat further with us about this white paper and a lot more, we're pleased to be joined now by ASQ Managing Director Laurel-Nelson Rowe. Laurel, welcome back to the show.
Thanks so much.
Well, it's great to have you here, and again, thank you for joining us again.
Happy to be here.
Great. Well, you know, the white paper, which we talked about, uncovered a lot of information, but one piece of data in particular really jumped out at me, and I want to kind of run this by you and ask you your opinion on it. Although 75% of surveyed top managers believe that their companies embraced a comprehensive culture of quality, less than half of quality managers believe the same. So why the discrepancy?
Why the discrepancy? And that's we designed the study to see if there were discrepancies between the two audiences, if you will, the two influential sectors. Why the discrepancy? Well, it comes from their points of view and their points of influence. So if you're in the trenches, if you're in quality management or quality engineering, you're at it every day. And you are a problem solver, right? You are trying to improve your process, your organization, your product, your service. And it seems like it's an always unmet challenge. On the other hand, you got the C-suite, and they're seeing the whole landscape, like you said, the comprehensiveness. And information is filtered up to them and around them, and they don't always see the whole the down and dirty picture, perhaps until there is a recall, or there is a customer problem, or there's pushback on the internet from consumer voices. So one executive that I talked to said, you know, we are really on the route of getting rid of watermelon metrics. And I said, what does that mean? And the scorecard is green on the outside but red on the inside. So I think that kind of shows what organizations sometimes do to represent what they need to improve upon, and increasingly just look at the reds and work on them, and don't color them green just since they're going up the food chain.
I like that, watermelon metrics. I never thought about that before. Green on the outside, red on the inside. That makes a lot of sense. Well, the report, I think, really points up the different approaches to quality that world-class companies take versus their lesser performing peers. So what, in your opinion, are the key things that really great companies do better than others?
Yeah, I love that question, because organizations in the study were able to self-identify themselves as world-class. But what does it really mean? Well, when you decipher the data, it really means that world-class organizations have an unyielding focus on quality and continual improvement. It really is continual. It's sustained. It's an investment model. They also are looking at embracing and really advancing a culture of quality from the top down, from the board level to the CEO's voice and truth. You know, the truth and their integrity. They embrace it. They champion it. And then also bottom up, from everyone in the organization, all employees, the leaders, everyone in between, embracing and advancing that culture. And thirdly, that they always remember that customer is the reason that they're at work, that they're creating new products, that they're innovating, etc. So it's the customer dynamic that is very much a culture of quality focal point for world-class organizations. A couple more facets, again from the data. World-class organizations stretch the perhaps traditional orientation of quality into the domains of innovation, into the areas of risk management and weighing investments, as well as into the areas of corporate responsibility, what we often call global responsibility now, and sustaining the business, sustaining our environment, sustaining our planet and resources.
Well, I want to give you a little pushback now because our readers are active, very involved quality professionals, and they always have strong opinions. And there were some comments on the article that we ran about this white paper. One part of the report that raised some hackles involved reward systems. The research indicates that many world-class companies use rewards and incentives as part of their efforts to encourage and model positive behaviors. But proponents of, say, the Deming system of profound knowledge will claim that incentives don't work. So, are they effective or not?
Well, first of all, I'm glad that readers were engaged and that they gave feedback and that they gave pushback. That's always a good signal that the topic is hot. That's great. And also, it depends what you mean by incentives, because the data said everything from a basic performance feedback, an annual performance review is an incentive. Now, I don't know about you or you guys, but I don't necessarily put my annual performance appraisal into an incentive bucket, but maybe that's just me. Another top response was just the regular internal award system, or being recognized or being patted on the back. So incentives, a lot of people just automatically translate that into cash or compensation, but incentives often bring out the best of people. You take pride in your work, you're recognized, you're applauded, you're nominated for something, teamwork, etc. So while we have utmost respect for the Deming way and profound knowledge, obviously ASQ embraces the Deming approach to quality and such, but we also know that the data is the data, and it said, incentives are part of a cultural dynamic.
Well, Laurel, we're coming up quickly to the end of our segment. We're also coming up quickly to the end of the year. So looking ahead, what are some of the big incentives, big initiatives, I should say, that you and the ASQ are planning to roll out in 2015?
Well, I want to pause for 2014 because we got a couple months left, and a little bit of the culture of quality product or portfolio is still to come. In about 2 weeks, we'll be releasing an organizational assessment that organizations can take that self-assessment and see where they are on the spectrum of a culture of quality and maybe improve toward a richer, deeper culture of quality. Of course, November is World Quality Month, so I know you guys are going to celebrate it and the world's going to celebrate it. That's November. But looking into 2015, of course, we'll have the World Conference the first week of May, and this year, or I should say next year, it's going to be in Nashville. It's going to be bigger than ever. 2015 will also be year 2 of what we call the Emerging Quality Leaders Group. It's a cohort of select leaders that we've designed a custom program for, so we're pretty proud of that work. Of course, we're going to have in 2015 the Future of Quality Research release, and that is under the direction of ASQ's new CEO, Bill Troy. So it'll be different, I can promise you that. Strong impact, broad reach, and lots of trend, and so I hope to be back on the program then. And we'll be launching the study, The Global State of Quality 2, next year.
Well, great. A lot going on with the ASQ, obviously. Thank you, Laurel-Nelson Rowe, Managing Director of the ASQ, for joining us on the show today. We will certainly have you back, if not before the end of the year, definitely in 2015. So, Laurel, thanks again for joining us. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.